So you know how every hour is a happy hour? Today we're looking at an add-on that would just simply make every single hour you spend when trying to create anything in Blender a happy hour. The cool thing about this add-on is it's extremely easy to use, is relatively new, and comes with tons of shaders that you can work with. And for those who like to get this, or probably you like to try it, you can simply go over to the link in the description that'll bring you right here where you can download it currently for 25% off. And with that said, let's dive directly into Blender and take a look at how this actually works and start making some drinks. And with Blender simply open right here, how you get this to work is pretty simple, as all you need to do once you download the add-on is to go over to edit, go over to preference, go over to add-on and install the add-on. And once you install it, you would get the Liquifeel right here. And once you've got that, hit on the burger menu and save your preference. And with that done, how we make that cocktail, drink or beer that we like to make is as easy as tapping N on the keyboard, go right here where you find Liquifeel, go over to the receiver, and I bet you this is literally one click, okay? You need to select any of the things. Say maybe, for example, we would like to select an American pint glass and then click on add to the 3D cursor, and there we have it. Next thing we need to do is to fill this glass up, and to do that we need to go over to geometry and fill the glass up. And once we fill it, this is what we have. Of course we can't see that right now because we're not rendering, so we need to go over here, switch this to cycles, switch this to GPU, and then we turn on the denoiser for good measures. And once we have that, we can simply hit this button and we have ourselves some milk. And for sure, we can go in and increase this if we want and reduce this. But you know, we want happy hour. We don't want to take milk right now, except your Homelander. And so for that, what we need to do is go over to the shading, and then we can click on liquid and click on shade active. From here, we can make the changes that we want. So depending on what you want to make right now, you can simply select that. And because we love to try the beer, we can click on that beer right here, and then we can update it. And that way we have beer. What about we like to try some black beer? We can also do the same thing. Some juice maybe. We've got juice right there. What if we like to have some cappuccino? We can also have that. And then maybe some champagne or some chocolate milk. We can simply throw that in. But you know, having this is one thing. Defining how this actually looks finally is another thing. And for that, we're simply going to drag out a new panel. Click right here, go over to the asset browser, and because we already have the polyheaven tool, we're going over to the HDRI section, find a very nice HDRI, probably something like this would be cool. And there we have the chocolate milk looking good. But what if you like something more? And for that, I'm simply going to select all of that, get rid of it, go back to the recipient, go right here, and maybe this time let's take a look at the bottles, because you know, we would like to see what it looks like to have some champagne. So we're just simply going to add that there. If we now go over to our geometry, we can click on fill active and it fills it up. And within this active section, of course, you can seal the top if you want, and you can take that out. You can also go ahead and animate this if you want, and that looks really cool. There's also the irregular. Right now, this is straight. You can set it to irregular, and then you can play with the tip threshold, and you can crank this up. And the whole idea is it becomes a bit more irregular the way this travels. And if you like to rotate this model, say for example you like to pour it out, of course if you simply turn this, you'd notice that the liquid rotates. And this is very, very useful as well, especially if you like to do that very interesting, you know, bottle trying to be stable on the floor thing, or maybe you just want to pour it out, something like that. Actually makes a lot of sense. There's just a lot of things that you can do with this, and you can simply go to town, select any of this stuff and get going. So we can throw that in, and we can also choose to fill this up. So let's fill this up and then take a look at the shader, go over here and click on add active. From here, we would like to do something a little bit more family friendly, which is going to be like some tomato juice or maybe some, you know, orange juice. Orange juice sounds nice. We can throw in some orange juice right there, and we can also increase this, play with the parameters. And to each of these drinks, the parameters are different. Like in this case, we just have the foam, and we can dial that down. The bubble scale is there. We can also change the color. Probably this is the kind of orange juice you want. You can have that, and we can actually go ahead and do some stuff. And now, like I mentioned, this is literally different for every other thing. If we go over and select Coke, you would notice that Coke's one is also different. So to each of the things you select, the parameters are very different. Honey also has a different parameter as well. You also find out that the red fruit smoothie also has a different parameter. Champagne also has a different parameter. Now let's talk about that very beloved drink, the beer. So I'm just simply going to get that beer mug in and click on add asset. And once we have that, we can also shade the beer mug. So to do that, we need to click on shade active, select from any of this. Probably need a pet, maybe we need a brown bottle, or maybe we need a green bottle, and that would be nice if you're actually dealing with these bottles. But because, you know, we're dealing with glass, we're simply going to go ahead, go back to shading, select this right here, and then we can make changes to it. If we like to throw in some patterns to this glass, we can. So we can select from all of these patterns and be creative with it. The mapping is also here, so you can select the kind of mapping that you want for your model. Right here, there's also a library where you can define the ones you want. So if you like to load your own custom patterns, you can also go ahead and do that. But for this case, we're simply going to stick with what we have, and I'm going to just simply take that out, go all the way up, and then we will fill this up. So go over to geometry, click on this button, go right here and select the kind of stuff we want. It's also worth mentioning that you can play with the liquid amount. You can also choose to hide this if you want. So if you like to hide the liquid, you can also do that. And this will be super useful for animation. So probably you want to animate a character pouring things in, you can simply do all of that and you can increase that. And we can also go over to where we have the carbonated section, increase the quantity of the carbonated stuff. We can also increase the foam amount, increase the bubble scale if we like to have bubbles in there, and we can simply go to town with this entire thing. And of course, if you like to push the limits of what you get with this, you can simply go ahead and play with tools from the folks at Polyheaven, add a few props here and there, and you can also proceed to polish your scene to get some very interesting results. And of course, for those who are looking for more stuff that they can use, you can simply take a look at the link in the description. They're amazing tools that can just get you results in a single click, and we've listed them in the description, so you can go ahead and check them out. Our community section is also very active, so simply check there regularly to see the latest add-on. We're beginning to think about integrating news and updates right there, so it's also going to be a place where you can get quick updates and also quick news before we make a video. So this is it. For those who are looking for amazing new add-ons that they can grab, we're listing most of these in the description. We're also going to share some of these in the screen right now so that you can go ahead and grab them, especially now they're doing a sale off. And of course, a huge shout out to the creators for making this beer factory available. Liquifeel is now here, and for anyone who would like to grab this, links to this is also going to be in the description, so do well to check it out. Tell me what you guys think about this one in the comment section, and of course, if you like this video or you learned something from this, you can go ahead and give a like, and don't forget to share with a friend. And until I see you guys in the next one, peace.